I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all
offence.
recorded, officer.
That's fine. Police
She's
officer.
lied to you. Now you've threatened me with arrest, which has now made me have to give my details. So I will have to make a call to my solicitor.
For any particular purpose? Is it a hobby? Is it a research project? Anything like that?
I don't know yet. At the minute, just sort of flying around, see what happens.
Right. I understand an officer's just tried to have a word with you on the way into the car park.
She sort of shouted at me in a plain clothes, personal car, so I didn't have a clue who she was.
Apparently you've told her to pee off.
Did I?
That's what she said to us. If that's the case, that's not acceptable, is it?
Well, that's why we wear independent witnesses that never lie.
Right. What do you mean by that? Right. Okay. Well, yeah, I've got mine on as well. So.
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Can I take your details just so we know what you're doing and you're recorded on our systems, and we've got the fact what you're doing, and to make sure you're not up to no good.
No, I'd rather not. If that's okay.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, I just need to make sure that you're not like sort of in line with any terrorist groups or anything like that you could be using for hostile reconnaissance or anything of that nature.
Do you suspect I'm a terrorist officer?
Well, I don't know until I speak to you. Do I? Until I take your details and check you through.
Is that what you do with everybody?
If you're being verbally abusive to people, then you have technically committed a public order offence for which I would require your details.
Okay.
They approach him already carrying a claim that he swore at the sergeant, and they treat it like a confirmed fact without verifying it. News Now Yorkshire doesn't get pulled into an argument. Instead, he cuts straight through it by pointing to his body-worn camera, reminding them why independent recording exists. That moment matters. It exposes the imbalance immediately. One side relies on an allegation, while the other has actual footage. Then the situation escalates. When he refuses to provide his details, the justification suddenly shifts to checking whether he is linked to any terrorist groups. But that isn't a genuine reason. Comes across as pressure, not a response based on clear evidence.
So that's why I'm asking you for them as well.
Right.
So could I have your name and date of birth and address, please?
What, you think I've committed a public order offence?
Yeah, because an officer's just told me that you've sworn at her in the street.
Well, I need to get her to make that statement then, because she's lying.
Well, she's just told me as she's driven in that you've sworn at her.
Did she?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll be making a complaint about her then.
That's absolutely
And if you
fine.
take my details, I will have to sue West Yorkshire Police.
That's not a problem. You feel free to do so. The reason I've explained the reasons why I'm asking you for your details.
What happens if I don't give my details?
Then you're potentially committing an offence.
Well, I will.
It's a lot easier if you do, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to give my details.
Okay.
I will if you tell me that I'll be arrested if I don't.
Well, potentially you may be. Yeah, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, because your name and address can't be verified. Right. And I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence.
What reasonable grounds is that?
But I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all recorded, officer.
That's fine.
Do you want me to show you the recording?
Not at the moment, but I want.
Because I could show you the recording.
I want you to.
And then you would know.
Details, and I've explained it to you. You've asked me to explain it to you, and I've laid it out plain and simple.
This is where the reasoning completely breaks down. They claim a public order offense has taken place, not based on clear behavior, but simply because a sergeant said it did. When News Now Yorkshire asks what happens if he refuses to give his details, the response becomes circular. They suggest that refusal itself could become another offense, one that might justify arrest. But that isn't a solid legal foundation. It sounds more like repeated threats than clear reasoning. Bringing up Section 24 of PACE only highlights the issue further. Arrest necessity must be based on evidence, not rank or convenience. Here, everything rests on a colleague's claim, even though footage is available that could immediately clarify the truth. They choose not to review it, and that decision raises serious questions about fairness and intent.
I don't think I have to give my details, officer.
You do.
I do.
You've been verbally abusive towards somebody.
I haven't, though.
She's alleging that you have.
I haven't, though.
As I said before, I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed a public order offence.
But I haven't.
Okay, listen to me. Because of that nature, that's why I require your details. And as I've explained to you, if you don't give me your name and address, and can't verify who you are, it may make your arrest necessary in order to ascertain those details.
Will you arrest me if I don't?
I'm not saying I definitely will, but I'm saying it may make your arrest necessary.
Am I being detained right now?
At the moment, because I need your details.
I'm being detained?
Potentially, if you don't give me your details, you may be arrested, is what I'm saying.
No, I just want to check if I'm being detained right now.
I don't understand why you can't just give me your details.
I'd rather not. That's the point.
But I'm asking you to.
If I have to by law, then I will.
You do have to by law, yeah.
Okay, and what section of law says I have to?
I'm telling you that because you've committed an offence.
I haven't, though.
I suspect that you have.
You suspect that I have?
I suspect that you have.
Okay.
I need reasonable grounds to suspect. That's 2 to 3 out of 10 on the scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I've got that reasonable suspicion.
Yeah. Can you let me know that lady's name or collar number?
So she's a sergeant who was off duty at the time, coming into work for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Because
she's a police officer.
lied to you. Now you've threatened me with arrest, which has now made me have to give my details. So I will have to make a call to my solicitor.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Okay.
You go right ahead.
They corner him with a manufactured justification. They claim that if they cannot identify him, they will arrest him just to find out who he is. But that's not how arrest powers are meant to work. It turns the process into a tool of convenience rather than a response to clear evidence. Instead of relying on lawful grounds, they rely on pressure. Arrest cannot exist simply to overcome non-cooperation, and it cannot be based on an untested suspicion. At this point, reasonable grounds fall apart. It's no longer about law, it's about what is easiest for them. Faced with the risk of being arrested on a weak justification, he gives his details. Not because the law demands it, but because pressure leaves him with no real choice. And when compliance comes from that kind of pressure, it isn't true consent, it's submission.
I can't believe she lied to you, officer. I have got it all recorded though, just so you know.
You could, if you want to make a complaint.
Yeah, I will be making a complaint straight away. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I haven't got
Is that what she actually said to you? I told her to pee off.
As I drove out of the gate, she was driving in and she said, "Will I have a word with it with you?"
Yeah.
Because she'd spoken to you and you told her to. I'm not going to say the full word. But pee off. You understand what I mean by that?
I understand what you're saying, but she's lying to you. You know that, don't you?
Well, if she's lying to me, she's lying to me. If it's on your camera, then you've got grounds for a complaint.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I'm not lying to you. I can only go about.
You know, last time this happened, I got £1,000 for it. You know.
Right.
Yeah. That was at Humberside though.
What was that? What was that in relation to though?
Because someone said I was committing antisocial behaviour, so the officer unlawfully used Section 50 of the Police Reform Act to gain my details, just like you've unlawfully used Section 5 to get my details.
Okay.
And then they offered me £1,000 for my trouble.
I haven't used Section 5.
Oh, did you use?
You've potentially committed an offence under Section 4A of the Public Order Act.
Oh, okay. Section 4A.
Yeah.
And that requires me to give my details.
It doesn't require you to give your details.
You just told me it did.
What I'm saying, no, you're twisting my word.
The officer keeps relying on the word potentially, as if that alone creates an offense. But nothing solid is ever presented. Mentioning Section 4A doesn't make it apply. That law requires clear intent and real impact, not vague assumptions. What makes it worse is how the legal justification keeps changing. One moment it's public order, the next it's something else. That isn't clarity, it's confusion. This isn't a careful investigation. It's an attempt to find something, anything that fits after the fact. If a real offense existed, the legal basis would stay consistent. But it doesn't. And none of the powers mentioned actually give them the right to demand his personal details. This moment clearly shows uncertainty being covered with shifting claims instead of real legal grounding.
What I'm saying to you is because I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence.
Yeah.
If you don't give me your details, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of PACE.
Oh, okay.
Because your name and address cannot be verified.
Right.
And I suspect that you've committed an offence.
Well, that's the full explanation. Thank you for that.
That's what I said to you the first time.
Well, I didn't get that explanation, so maybe you didn't explain it properly, and maybe I didn't understand.
Well, you understand it now, though.
I do, 100%. Yeah, yes. I can't believe she lied to you, and she's a sergeant. She's going around lying to you guys. Do you want me to show you the video?
No.
Is it because you know that she's lying?
I don't know that she's lying.
I think you know. Okay. I think you know. I think you do know.
We're literally just going off what we've been told.
Yeah, what you've been told is a lie, though, is what I'm saying. I could show you the video now and show you that she's lying. What do you guys reckon? Your personal opinion?
My personal opinion doesn't matter. I don't work. My personal opinion has to stay at home when I come to work.
Well, use your detective skills then. What do you think?
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Speaking to you.
Well, yeah, I could have showed you the video.
To find out your version of events.
No, what you're doing is getting my details unlawfully.
Okay. I'm not. I've already explained to you the reason why.
I could have showed you the video, and then you would have no reason to get my details.
If you're happy to show me the video, I'm happy to watch it. It's not a problem.
Well, there's no point now because you've already given my details.
This is where fairness completely disappears. He repeatedly offers the simplest solution: watch the footage, but they refuse. One officer even admits she's relying only on what she's been told. That's not an investigation. That's blind acceptance. His side is ignored, while hearsay is treated as fact. They choose not to review footage that is available in real time, suggesting they are protecting a version of events they don't want challenged. Then, after they've already taken his details, the video suddenly becomes important. And that timing says everything. If the footage truly mattered, it would have been reviewed at the beginning, not at the end. Watching it last isn't proper investigation. It's damage control.
I'll speak to my solicitor now and get my £1,000.
You've offered to show me the video, then that's fine.
Yeah, and you'll see that your sergeant's a liar.
Well, show me it if you want to show me it. I'm not bothered.
Am I being detained?
No, you're free to go. Thank you for giving me your details. Just be careful where you're flying it.
No, I won't.
Obviously, bear in mind that side of the gate and the fence is private property.
Oh no, I've already been over there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go over again.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But bear in mind that you may be spoken to again by an officer if it's deemed that your drone's interfering with any police activities or anything like that.
All right, well, I've got permission to be here.
From
the Civil Aviation Authority.
Okay, have you got that in writing? Have you got anything on you can show me to confirm that?
Do I need to?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you, am I?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you that your sergeant's a liar.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to get drawn into this back and forth with you.
You've already been drawn into it.
I've spoken to you. I've ascertained what you're doing. As long as you're not.
But what happened to the Section 4A?
That's fine. I'm not going to take any further action against it.
No further action?
Yeah.
Why? Because you know that she's a liar?
I'm going to give you words of advice.
No, I don't want your words of advice.
Well, I'm going to offer you
You can
them.
stick your words of advice.
Right, I'm going to offer you them anyway.
No, I don't want them.
The moment they obtain his details, everything ends. No offense is followed up. No action is taken. No further interest is shown. All the earlier claims, public order, terrorism, legal powers simply disappear. And that's not a coincidence. Because if any of those claims were real, they wouldn't vanish the second his identity was confirmed. A genuine issue doesn't end that quickly. This shows the true focus of the entire encounter. It was never about resolving a real concern. It was about identifying him. And once that goal was achieved, there was nothing left. All the legal language used before wasn't part of a clear process. It was a tactic.
Speak to people in future.
But I didn't speak to anybody in any. She's a liar. I never told her to pee off. She's an absolute liar. I will be making a complaint.
Okay.
I will be suing. Thank you
fine.
very much. What's your details?
6468.
From the station?
Yep.
Your details?
290.
From the station?
Yep.
And her details?
She'll find those out for you. I believe her name's Sergeant Wiltshire, or Wiltshire, my apologies.
Sergeant Wiltshire?
Yep.
And her numbers?
I don't know them.
Well, I need her numbers.
I don't know them.
We'll have to radio through then.
I don't know them.
She's the one that made the complaint. I need to make a complaint about the lying sergeant.
Just ask to speak to Sergeant Wiltshire. She works on Team 4 Patrol South at Ellen Road. That's all you'll need.
Well, can't you just radio through and ask for her details?
No, because she's not actually on duty at the moment, because she was in, as you said, she was in a civilian car in a civilian clothing, so she's...
You could ring the control room and ask what her call number is.
I can't do that at the moment because I'm too busy, but you've got all the details.
But you weren't too busy to come and stop to talk to me?
Thanks very much.
Yeah? See you later, sausages.
I prefer bacon.
Ending. He makes it clear the matter is heading to court, because the entire encounter was built on claims that never actually happened. A sergeant alleges abusive language, other officers repeat it without checking the footage, and pressure is applied to force him to give his details. Then the moment they get what they want, everything disappears. That's not a misunderstanding, it's misuse of power. When authority relies on claims instead of evidence, court becomes the only place left for the truth to be tested. Then, when he asks for their caller numbers, the response isn't direct. It's dismissive. Moments earlier, time wasn't an issue when they were stopping him, questioning him, and pushing for his details. But now, accountability becomes inconvenient. That contrast reveals everything. They are assertive when demanding information, but reluctant when asked to provide it. The footage that could have resolved everything was ignored. The identification that could support a complaint was treated as optional. They escalate quickly, rely on pressure, and shift their claims until compliance is achieved. And once it is, they step back. No action, no charges, no follow-up, because if this had truly been about public safety, it wouldn't have ended the moment they got what they wanted.